Hello everyone, it's me, Manga Boy. I stopped doing the Tokyo Treat sponsors because, well, we had another child, and also Digimon Time Changer came out, and well, you know, you only have enough for so many, you know, creatures in your life to take care of. And, well, you know, so Digimon's been taking all of my time. I don't know where my son is. It's been days since I've seen him, but Digimon Time Stranger, really good. Definitely did not have the time for a sponsor and Digimon Time Stranger. It just wasn't going to happen. So, you know, let's show you guys all of the good stuff here. And, you know, there is quite a bit of good stuff since I also haven't had time to open my box in a long time. Oh, you know, you see, you get this Easy. They said they got the stuff. Wow, beautiful. One manga in the list. Terrific. Oh, yeah. Let me know if you guys know where this box is from. I'm dead. So, Solitary Gourmet. This is a nice hardcover book, actually. Truthfully, I don't even remember ordering this, but hey. That's the thing about Digimon, you know, you do things in your sleep. You say, I'm hungry. You accidentally order a manga instead of a meal. So it's like Astro Royale by Ken Wakue. You guys may know Ken from such titles as Tokyo Babylon. Not Tokyo Babylon. Tokyo Revengers, I believe, is what he does. Let's double check. Oh my goodness, I was correct. Tokyo Revengers. Wow, man, Manga Boy. How do you do it? How do you know the most popular manga series author name from the year 2020? Oh, truly a savant. We have another Shonen Jump title, Nue's Exorcist by Kota Kawe. I don't think that this author's done anything, but anyways, the main character looks very similar to the guy from Fire Punch to me. Probably not any relationship to it there. It says that this author began with a one-shot called The Night of Departure. Never read it, never heard of it, but I have heard of Nue Exorcist. Alright, well, surely there can't just be one book in this box, right? That would be crazy. I mean, it's kind of big. You know, the hits, they keep on coming, and they don't stop coming. The hits, they're never going to let you down. Gachi Kueta by Ken Arana, and again, just the one book. You know, you just, the consistency with Crunchyroll, it cannot be beat. Yeah, so that's very good stuff. We gotta love it. Now this box, you know, there's got to be at least 1.5 books in here. They may have like a Crunchyroll may have cut a book in half for me just to kind of squeeze it in here, and they'll send me the other half later. That's my guess. Oh my God! Look how pretty that art is with all that orange and black. This is like good Halloween stuff. I better upload this video quick. We're getting close to Halloween. Oh, wow. Crunchyroll, I was making a joke earlier, and you sent me bricks? That's amazing. Does Right Stuff own Crunchyroll again? Or did they, you know, does Right Stuff own Crunchyroll now? Is my question, I guess, because this is a big what? Big ol' what? Whatasaurus Rex? Oh. Anyways, I am going to just show you this real quick. Just like that. Wow, wow, wow. Okie dokie 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 okie artichoke. So, we have quite a bit of stuff here. This is what I'm used to seeing. Oh my goodness gracious. A flashback. So, we are going to kind of rearrange these in such a way that I have the oldest volume first, or the least recent volume first, so that way we can kind of go through this in a way that's the least amount of spoiler. Dead Rock is, I think, the new series from Hiro Mashima, and I'm kind of annoyed that they released this so quickly because Eden Zero still hasn't had the last volume released in America. It did obviously release in Japan, otherwise you probably wouldn't be working in Dead Rock. But can you at least let a series die and finish before you release his next series? God, that's so rude. I really like Eden Zero. That's how you're treating it. Anyways, Dead Rock, let's show you a little bit of the art. You can probably already imagine what it looks like, so I don't know much about Dead Rock, but Dead Rock Principle, God, okay. But the main thing, of course, here is that it's a Hiro Mashima work. You probably know what you're getting into. There's gonna be a lot of fan service. Yep, there you go. There's gonna be a guy that looks like a demon lord or something like that, and he's going to have a guy with a carrot nose be his partner named Plu, and yeah, that's gonna be the whole series. Classes can be a real hell. Quiet in the library. Oh, real. Yeah, so anyways, that's pretty cringy stuff to be putting on there. So we also have the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, 7 Deadly Sins. I don't think anybody else in the world buys this series. I don't know. I really don't know how it's going so long, because I don't hear anybody talk about it. Maybe it's just doing super good and it's kind of stealth, but I really actually do. I enjoy the series quite a bit. They kind of, what's the word for it? Finalize the power system. In 7 Deadly Sins, the power system is kind of all over the place, but it seems like they're trying to ground it and give it more rules in this series instead of just saying they're over 9,000. Oh my God, he traded hell. Now he's over 9,010, and it's they just constantly are breaking barriers. Fairy Tail, the 100-Year Quest. I haven't even read this series at all, not one volume of 100-Year Quest yet, but I hear it's, just as good or better than Fairy Tail, so I don't really know if that's true. Probably not, but, you never know. And I've just been buying it as it comes out because, well, I have all of Fairy Tail. I've got all of Fairy Tail spin-off series. I really didn't like Fairy Tail all that much. I know, right? It's wow, you're really sounding like you really should be buying every single volume of Fairy Tail. You really are a huge fan. But I really liked how it ended, actually. I thought it ended really well. That last arc was really good. And so, really, if you're going to get a sequel series, I would say, the last arc, if you liked it or, didn't, it can be a pretty big, point towards do you want to continue buying the series. So the last arc, like I said, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the beginning few arcs as well, Fairy Tail, Rainbowy. And I also really liked, his most recent work, Eden Zero, so it makes sense to me to get Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest. What doesn't make sense to me is that I haven't read a single volume of it yet, and we are 18 volumes in, at least at my house, so I think there's even more out in the world, but I'm just pretty far behind. Demons of the Shadow Realm 7 and 8. This is by the same author as Fullmetal Alchemist, of course. Hiromu Arakawa really doesn't need any introduction. I think I want to push to read Arslan next for the book club that I'm in. Just because, I haven't read it yet. I think it's just about done in English. Maybe not. But I would really like to read their work. I don't think that the other person has ever read Fullmetal Alchemist, so we might read that first if they haven't. Astro Royale! I've heard not good things about this series, actually. So I'm not sure, how this is going to go. Tokyo Revengers, how I was saying, the last arc of a series, you can, tell you if you're going to like the next one or not. I was not very good, from what I understand, and it was kind of crashed the whole series' popularity as I hear of it. So, really, doesn't really bode well for Astro Royale. I think Astro Royale is actually even already over. Not positive about that though. So that's also not a very good sign for it. Nue Exorcist. So, that's a really cool author portrait. I wanted to show that off again before I got too far into it. I think that is amazing. But you can see here, Nue's Exorcist actually looks pretty cool. I am looking forward to this series probably more than Astro Royale. Astro Royale seems more up my alley. But, this seems pretty cool to me. So yeah, just a bit of the art, if you're kind of borderline interested in it. These days a lot of people just read things on Shonen, app, which is fine. That's a good way to figure out what manga is good or not. There's a bunch of new Jump series that are coming out with a whole bunch of number ones. I am not really keeping up at all. I could be buying them, but I just am simply not having the time to read them all lately. Like I said, I got the daughter, I got the son, and I got the Digimon. That's the holy trilogy there. So, forget about the wife. Oh my God. So it just adds up pretty quickly to eating all my time. Gachikuta 6 and 7. This series by a, I love how they have graffiti design author. I been pretty interested in this series because it is by the same author as the assistants to Fire Force, and I'm a huge fan of Fire Force. I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but Fire Force was spectacular. So anyways, you can see here in the manga, I believe this flashback was recently covered in the anime. There was a lot of people saying, oh my God, this girl's story is so sad. But you can see the art is like super good in this series. Heavy blacks, heavy inks, and super stylized. So if you aren't watching the anime, for whatever reason, I understand that it's actually doing really well. Definitely check out the manga or check out Fire Force, I guess. Fire Force is coming back pretty soon for the last arc. The last arc, in my opinion, is super good. And obviously we've got Thought for Food, the book, which nothing happens but everything you consume. I've heard mixed things about this series. I kind of got it for that reason. I've heard that not a lot happens in it. I've heard that it is just a really interesting environment with a kind of not very interesting plot going on, which is cool. So yeah, I picked it up for that reason. It's just a one-volume kind of thing. It's nice hardcover. I heard the story is quite, interesting, quite cool. How he just goes to each, place, and you learn a little bit about his life over and over again as he goes through these meals. But you don't learn everything about the guy. So it's just kind of an interesting read in that way. Anyways, that is all I'm going to show you all today. So I hope you enjoyed it. It is 12 minutes of your life gone. So if you watched it in 1.5 speed, then it is probably less than that, maybe 9. And if you watched it in double speed, it's 6. But now I'm keeping to talk, so it's 7 almost. Whew. That's life for you. The guy keep talking, you keep watching. So anyways, I'll probably try to release videos, once a month. Like I said, it's kind of rough time-wise to get everything, since if you put my son down, he cry, and my daughter's at daycare right now, which is, helpful for that. But, obviously, somebody's got to hold my son. My wife going back to work pretty soon, so it makes it kind of rough to film with him until he starts to be a little bit more self-sufficient. So thank you all for watching. Sorry for the weird release schedule that's going to be coming up, and have a good rest of the day. Bye bye.